The New Orleans Saints entered Night 2 with the 88th overall selection, but as is often the case, Sean Payton went dealing on draft day. First, sacrificing next year's third-round selection to swap third-round picks with Cleveland this year, as well as getting the Browns' seventh-round pick later in the draft. With that improved position, New Orleans targeted a linebacker, Zach Bond, out of Wisconsin.
That probably took a good part of an hour. There were a lot of conversations. We were close with one team. So there were a few times we thought we were close to a deal, and then it fell off. And it ended up being a little bit of a blessing because, the compensation really was something we were very comfortable with. We spent a lot of time on Bond, and it seemed like quite a bit of time on Troutman, but it seemed like a lot more with the first third-round pick.
Oh my God! When there isn't any other place I would want to be. Thank you guys so much. I'm just excited to get things rolling, and don't even know how to feel right now. I'm just so excited. Obviously, when you go into a situation like this, you have a range there. You think you're going to get picked, but once you see the other teams start picking and kind of how everything plays out, you get impatient and you want to just hear your name called. But nonetheless, it's such a special moment, and to be picked by such a great organization is so big for me and my family.
Bond dominated in his senior year, finishing among the nation's leaders with 19.5 tackles for loss, 12.5 sacks among his 76 total tackles. It was enough to put him on the Big Ten first team.
I just knew that someone had to step up as a leader and in production on the field. So I went up to my position coach and I said, "Hey, coach, I'm trying to be the best player I can be. I know I have the athletic ability and gifts to be one of the top players in this league, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes."
We had a lot of production in college as a rush end. He's a guy we think that can play at the Mike position and also play at the Sam position. I do like his pressure traits. But we see him as someone that can play in a stack position if need be.
When he gets here, Bond already has somebody in the locker room that he knows pretty well. Fellow member of the 2020 draft class, Cesar Ruiz.
Absolutely. I trained with him out in Exos in Phoenix. Excited to get that Big Ten connection going. We talked about it in our group chat leading up to the draft, and at least two of us would be on the same team, and I'm glad it's me and C's.
Just when it appeared the Saints' night was over, they ended it with a big splash, trading all 4 of their remaining draft picks to Minnesota to acquire tight end Adam Troutman out of Dayton.
I'm super excited to be a part of the New Orleans Saints organization, and super excited to get my foot in the building eventually and get to work.
It's got to be a little flattering to know that a team gave up 4 draft picks to move up to get you.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't even know that until now. So, I just got the call. I didn't see the trade information or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
He was one of the better blocking tight ends we felt in this draft. I'd say especially for a player that played at a small school, clearly wouldn't have seen him available at the end of the third round. But, again, that's how it works.
I think I can do anything you ask of a tight end. I do think I'm more of a traditional – why put my hand in the dirt, but that's not for me to decide or anything like that, obviously. But, I think I can do it all on the field as a tight end.
We are excited, really excited. That's 3 players that we had in our top 40. And, I think in a lot of ways it couldn't have worked out any better.
Troutman is the first Dayton player drafted into the NFL since 1977. No such drought at LSU. After a school record 5 players were drafted in the first round, there were another 5 Tigers taken off the board in Night 2. Grant Delpit was selected by Cleveland with the 44th pick. Christian Fulton went 61st to the Tennessee Titans. Then in the third round, the Seattle Seahawks used pick number 69 on lineman Damian Lewis. Later, center Lloyd Cushenberry went 83rd to the Broncos. And with pick 97, linebacker Jacob Phillips joined Delpit in Cleveland. So after just 2 days, the Tigers have set the all-time school record for players selected, and there are still 4 rounds remaining. Elsewhere, the Ragin' Cajuns were represented on day 2, as tackle Robert Hunt was selected by the Dolphins with the 39th pick. In Metairie, Paul Boron for CST.